My father taught me many things here. He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Hello, folks. Thanks for dropping by Kaiser's Castle. Take a seat on my big orange couch. Pop a soda, a tea, a coffee, an adult libation. Have yourself a nice, comfortable spot. I'm going to talk today, this is my lecturing to an empty chair, on the difference between an alpha male meat eater and a narcissist. You never want to drown in the sea of me. Here's my point. I noticed several things that I wrote about on my own page. Social media, while I think it started out as a good idea, it has helped to destroy the fabric of America. And it's because people take things too literally. When you have stuff like unfriending, let me see. I knew this person once in combat, but he said something that pissed me off, so I unfriend him. Well, it starts to come back into your personal life, where people will unfriend somebody just because I'm going to cut ties with them because I disagree with him. America has never been made up other than your community, who you are, what goes on in Washington, happens in Washington. Yes, it affects us, all of this. But America was great. I grew up in a time when America was great, all the way up into the 80s. It wasn't until the early 90s that I saw the sea change. When I was younger, we never divided on political, racial lines. This is a fact. No one can doubt. But then you had two things occur. The media started taking, and what I mean by media is Hollywood, the news trades, the newspapers, and the broadcast media. You know, whether it be cable or regular TV, what we used to call. Your 4, 6, and 10, and PBS, right? Those normal channels, CBS, NBC, ABC, and PBS. See, and even back then, in the 70s up into the 80s, at a certain time in the evening, I think it was like 2:30, 3 in the morning, TV went dark. You couldn't get to watch anything. With the onset of cable, you had 24-hour news. That meant you could watch TV all night long, and then you had the movie channel, all these different things that popped up. MTV, you know, there was a whole revolution that happened. It's kind of what you saw with the first MTV song was the Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star. I'll never forget it because I watched it. I was alive to watch that first day. Now MTV is all about the real world or whatever kind of crap. I haven't watched TV since 2005, so I'm not going to lie. I'm not hip to the mix. But what I do watch and participate in is social media. I'm a big fan of going to other people's channels on social media. I happen to enjoy content creators because it's not coming from a place that I think nobody has investment. And what I mean by that is that these people are just saying what they feel. Whether I agree with them or not, there was a thing we used to have when I grew up called I can agree to disagree with you. It's super easy. But somehow, and it really got hot, and I noticed when it got hot, it was during the election of 2000, I'd say maybe towards, well, it was during the campaign of Obama when it really got heated up, where we were dividing Americans. You know, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, you're a Hispanic causing a panic, right? If you're homosexual, whatever, you know, all whatever you do in your bedroom's your own business as long as you're not screwing around with kids. I could give a shit. And I think most Americans felt that way. But see, that was purpose-built to divide, and then the media became nothing more than propaganda whores. And they knew, these journos going through college, they knew they could shape the world. Because what do journalists sign up for? They want to change the world. Well, I've done it live on both feet since I was 17. And I'm in my 50s. And I've gone overseas to try to change the world. Yeah, I was an ideologue. I thought we could spread that beautiful democracy. Well, how'd that work for me? I saw everything come undone after that election. I saw the Middle East become even more unstable. And with the last election, you had what it amounts to a hateful cat lady just slander America. Although for 8 years we had somebody slandering America from the highest office. But nobody cared. You know, when he first got elected, I didn't vote for him. But when he first got elected, I was like, you know, let's see what happens. You know, give him a shot. Well, in some ways, he continued some of Bush's policies, but he hamstrung the military and basically allowed Little Miss Princess of State, capital S State Department, go ahead and set the world on fire. And she is a war hawk. That's why when people say neocons, I say you have to think neo-progs, neo-progressives. They're the same two heads feeding the same snake body. Now, to be very frank, to get back on topic, when you see social media, you have the gang boxing where everybody's coming in to shut down a channel. I'm sure it'll happen to mine one day. I really don't care. And do I participate in it? I guess I do. But I try not to do these lecturing to an empty chairs too often. But that's exactly what I expect is an empty chair. This is me putting my views out, and who really gives a fuck? I'm not that narcissistic. I am an alpha male, and I've also been a beta male around badder-ass alpha males than me. But they knew they could rely on me. So here's the thing. When did we stop thinking that we were all participants? Do you think the garbage collector, that man who works for a living, the plumber, even the doctor, the lawyer, or the academic, when was that disassociated? Looked down on? Well, it was done by both the neocons and the neo-progs. That's a fact. It's both parties. So when idiots start talking to me and they tell me that, well, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans. No, it's the socialist, the communist. And trust me, the neocons are socialist. They will walk to socialism, slowly walk, and the neo-progs, they're outright Marxist, communist, or Maoist. Okay? Just depending on their ideology, but they both have the same thing, tyranny in mind for you. And that's a bridge too far for me. For both those. When people say conservative, I really despise that, because what have they conserved? Is our culture the same? What's the same? Is the job still the same? Oh no, there's less of them, and they went overseas. Oh, happened under both parties. Started under Clinton. Imagine that, and partially Bush Sr. towards the end. So it was just enacted by Clinton. Bush Sr. is the one who started the whole global kind of New World Order thing, and people can look that up as New World Order speech. But Clinton enacted NAFTA, GATT. He signed all that, but that was the brainchild of Bush Sr. And remember, Bush Sr. used to go golfing with him and hug him and say he's like a son to me now after Clinton got out, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we remember that, don't we? See, here's the thing. Institutional memory's lost. But the bigger threat to our nation, social media I got on, it's a great way to meet. I have met some brothers of mine I've served with, some classmates. But this last election cycle, I'm all of a sudden a racist because I was going to vote for a guy who believed in America and would correct the course. And he has done that in a lot of different ways. There's some things I disapprove of that he's done. But in other ways, he's surpassed. Imagine that, somebody keeping their campaign promises. He hasn't broken any yet. He's just not been as solid as he said on some things. But see, that's when you're a logical mind and you can actually dissect it. But then again, am I making a difference? No. Is this talk going to make a difference? No. But what I do know is that Americans, in their heart, if they disconnected from at least a television, that's what broke me out. Once after 2005, and I saw a major problem on the reporting of something that happened that I was involved with in Mosul, Iraq, and the outright lie and even the video being tainted in ways that I can't get into. I just disconnected. I unplugged. And it was on CNN and Fox both. Same story. Death rates being cooked. It's a whole thing. And like I said, they became a propaganda arm. Now you're seeing it on YouTube with the platforming. It's been going on for a long time. It's going on in all social media, though, because they don't want rational voices. They want the corporate voices, the corporatocracy. And what has the corporatocracy gotten us? Jobs going overseas? People losing their homes en masse? Remember that? The wages? All of a sudden, white men being vilified? Oh, white men had slaves. Oh, but white men built the Brooklyn Bridge. White men did a lot of things, along with black men and Hispanics. But we have to segregate. We have to divide and conquer. I do not feel that all hope is lost. I don't think the sticky, wet, masturbational fantasy everybody wants to fucking play over and over again is ever going to happen of civil war or revolution. It's retarded, and those people are morons. But I do think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the direct line is, if you offend me, I have to delete you. See, it's easy to do when you're in front of a cluster of electrons on a screen. It's easy to do when you don't see that person every day. when you're not actually having a conversation. That's why I try to be as interactive as I can when I do these shows. Because when I say Kaiser's Castle, that is my home. I'm inviting you in. I invite you in to eavesdrop on conversations. Sometimes they're boring. Sometimes you may not enjoy them. But a snippet of real people talking. And they happen to mostly be people I've worked with in my career field. And it's a different career field than most people have ever chosen or have participated in or even know. There's so much bullshit out there about what it is. And I'm also trying to correct some of those glaring errors. I guess that's why I pretty much designed this channel, was just for that. And some of my interests, too. I love having BZ, Allen, and other conspiracy people on. Hell, I had Adam Kokesh. Politically, I dig his book, but politically, he says he aligns more as a communist. And he's a former Marine, Semper Fi. You can find that on my channel. And I was not disagreeable with him. I disagree with him, but I wasn't disagreeable. So, I guess that's all I really wanted to say on this Sunday morning. I wanted to keep it quick because I know it's boring. Plus, it'll take forever to upload. But the point is, folks, it depends on you. Forget about the federal government. They're going to do what the fuck they're ever going to do. They're going to arrest you. They're going to put you down. Whatever. Who cares? Be the person you are in your community. Everyone's a racist, so no one's a racist. Who gives a fuck? Words mean nothing now. This is the whole bullshit of the whole thing. And don't ever apologize. I don't care who it is to, unless you really feel, sorry for doing something, physically doing something, or saying something that maybe was untoward. Don't ever apologize. And the other thing, don't ever start a sentence with, I'm not xenophobic because I have this friend and this. Don't do that. Don't start a sentence with, I have black friends. This is my black friend. It's irrelevant. I have gay friends. It's just a way to make you step in line. Fuck, don't ever start a question like that. Just if you doubt something, if somebody's pushing a narrative, say, I disagree with illegals coming across the border. It's okay. Oh, you're a racist. Okay, yeah, I'm a racist. So what? Now let's have the conversation. I disagree with illegals coming across the border. I'm a xenophobe. Well, same thing. So that's the whole point. Be a man. And everything's not about you. So if somebody disagrees with you, it's ridiculous. I've seen it in real life now where people over the election cycle disagreed with me that, I didn't like the removal of statues of our heritage because that's one of the first things the communists do. Now they're going after Washington, Jefferson, and Lincoln. See how this works, folks? It's make you forget your history. That way you don't learn from the wrongs and there's no real record of what happened. Next thing we'll be doing, we're already shutting channels down. People's opinion, we're shutting that down. We're going to start burning books next. Watch. I'm telling you, this goes nowhere good. With that being said, hopefully you all have a great day. Sorry to rant, but it was something I had to do. Thank you for stopping by Kaiser's Castle. With all that being said, my intro was by Axion Ghost, and it's called Musso's Pizza. And look for him on YouTube, and I'll have a link in the description. He's a good man, and like, comment, and share. if you like his music. And same thing with me. Like, comment, and share. You can catch me every Thursday. I'll be in the chat on the Boiler Room on Alternative Current Radio. I will sometimes be in with Jaffe on World Pirate Radio Podcast Network, WPRPN, for the news. So you might hear my ugly voice there. And every once in a while I might be on SHR Media or Big Sarge Media. And I'll make sure to highlight them in my next thing. Or during this video, you'll be able to see where they at. So, anyways, much love to y'all. With that being said, shove out.